Let's talk about the documents you need for an I-864 affidavit of support. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. In this video, we're going to talk about the affidavit of support, the I-864, and specifically what you need to gather in order to be able to sponsor your spouse for a marriage-based green card or an immigrant visa or other family members. So the I-864 is used to try to let the government see that the person is not going to become a public charge. They want to make sure that you, the petitioner, the U.S. citizen or green card holder who's filing an I-130 petition, can support the person that you're bringing to the United States. They don't want them coming to the United States and getting free benefits off the government. The government wants to make sure that they are going to be self-sufficient or that you can provide for them. And the way that they do that is they make you complete the I-864. We're going to talk about what documents you need in order to prove up your case, to prove that you make enough money so that you don't need a co-sponsor, or that the government concludes that you do have enough money to sponsor your spouse. So what's the first thing? Well, you need your tax transcript. So you go on the irs.gov website, go to Get Transcript, and download your tax transcript. So this is the actual proof that you have paid your taxes. And don't just get the last year, get the last 3 years. So right now when I'm shooting this video, it's 2025. Tax season is over, so you would go to the IRS website and you would download or order the tax transcripts for 2024, 2023, 2022. The easiest way to do it is just to do it where you download the PDF. Don't do it through the mail. Don't call the IRS. The website is actually pretty versatile and pretty easy to work with. You should be able to put in your name and your social security number, your date of birth, and download your tax transcripts. Then you save that to your drive, and then when you file your affidavit of support, you're going to print those out and send those in. Those are the most important pieces of evidence for the affidavit of support. That's how the government in two different branches, USCIS and IRS, talk to each other. That's how they know that you have actually paid your taxes, right? And so the tax transcript is very, very important. And like I said, don't just submit last year's. You want to show a good earning history for each of the last 3 years. You want to make it so that they don't send you a request for evidence. I bet you 40% of the requests for evidence that I see, people who have come to us after not hiring us, have been received because they didn't provide the tax transcripts or they didn't provide enough documentation of the affidavit of support. So after the tax transcript, the next thing you need to send in are the actual 1040s or the tax returns. So the biggest piece of information that's on your tax return that governs whether or not you make enough money is your adjusted gross income. And so unless you're in the military, you're going to have to demonstrate that you've made more than 125% of the poverty guidelines for each of the last 3 years. And so if you have a bad year, you might need a co-sponsor. If you have 2 bad years, you most definitely need a co-sponsor. And if you haven't had a really good earning history at all, if you make below that, you will need a co-sponsor. So we have other videos that talk about co-sponsors, but in this video, we're just talking about the documentation of it. So your tax returns, and I mean the complete return, not just the first page. So you want to submit your complete tax return, and that includes your W-2s, your 1099s, or any other sources of proof of where your income came from. So when you work with your accountant or your bookkeeper, or if you do your own taxes on TurboTax or something, you want to make sure that you've completed those forms correctly, that you have complete sets of your tax returns, because you're, again, going to want to submit the last 3 years, not just one. And so you submit those tax returns, you submit the documents that demonstrate that you've been making enough money in each of the last 3 years. And then the last big piece of evidence that you will need in order to complete your affidavit of support and file a strong financial case is proof of current employment. So you're going to want to get a letter from your home, HR department or your employer, maybe your boss. You need somebody to prepare a letter on letterhead that says, yes, Joe Smith works at XYZ company. Joe has worked here for 3 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever. Joe makes this amount of money every 2 weeks, or Joe's annual salary is this much. And then you're going to want to submit pay stubs for the last 6 months that demonstrate that you've been making enough money and that you're actually being paid. So all these pieces fit together, because if you miss one of the pieces, then the whole thing sort of falls apart, because you need to show that you're currently working. You can't be the sole sponsor if you're not currently employed. If you have lost your job or got laid off, you're not going to be able to be the sole sponsor. You still have to be the sponsor because the petitioner is always the primary sponsor. But if you've lost your job, then the whole thing falls apart. Or if your letter of employment shows that you made less than you actually have on your pay stubs, then it all falls apart. Or if your pay stubs are wildly out of sync with the amount that you put it on your tax returns, that's a whole other problem. So you can see how all these building blocks put together a very strong I-864. So we want you to succeed. We want you to win your case. And what we don't want is for you to miss out on this. Now, you would not believe how many people call our office or call my show saying, Jim, what about this? What about that? Don't do that. Just do what I told you to do. Just get these documents, submit them, and you should be in really, really good shape. Now, sometimes USCIS sends really squirrely requests for evidence anyway, but in the vast majority of cases, if you give them all the documents that I just mentioned, you should be fine, and that should get resolved before your green card interview, and it will speed up your case being scheduled for an interview. So the affidavit of support looks sort of simple, the form sort of complicated, the PDF sort of sucks. But at the end of the day, if you get all the right information and the right documentation and you make enough money, you should be okay. Now, if I were you, I would give serious thought about just hiring us or some other law firm to help you with this. This is what we do every day. We do affidavits of support. We have teams that are really, really good at it. One of the great benefits of owning my own law firm is I don't have to do those anymore because I'm not a real tedious kind of a details guy. I don't like all that little minutia. But we have people here who do those every single day, and they're really good at it. So if you're looking for help and you want us to represent you through the green card process or the immigrant visa process, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200, or you can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources like this video, you can check out our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel, turn on alerts so that you get alerted whenever we make a new video. You can join our Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. We have over 15,000 people in there talking about the immigration process every day. And we have our TikTok channel at Immigration Hacking. Finally, I do a show live on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook 3 or 4 times a week. It's called the Immigration Answer Show. You can look for that. And you can turn on alerts so that when we go live, you find out. Or you can just text the word show to 314-470-3300, and you'll get alerted whenever we go live. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.